to Midweek Minis. I hope you are ready for some readings, discussion. It's kind of whatever you guys are feeling. Yeah, it's just me today. Black Cat Tarot was going to be on, but something came up. She had to reschedule, so we're going to do it next week. So, well, wish her well on what she has to do today, and bless her heart. So, I'm going to turn this down all the way, and it comes back on anyway. I promise you, I turned it down this time. I made a concerted effort. So, anyway, I hope y'all are doing well. Give people a chance to discover we're live. So that, yeah, we can do some readings, whatever. I don't know, you guys, what. Hi, Flowing. Good to see you, darling. I don't know how I was just getting ready to say. We have a massive tropical storm headed our way today. It's supposed to start coming in right around noon. Stony Baker, hi. Mwah. Good to see you. Willie was sleeping in the other room earlier, so big butt. Anyway, yeah, we're expecting a big storm to come in this afternoon, and it's not leaving until Sunday. They're saying could be up to 3 inches of rain. Very little thunderstorms, just rain. So, going to be interesting. Yeah, I'm going to go with the flow. I'm going to need a kayak, I think. Hi, my soul. How are ya? Yeah, I think I'm going to need a kayak. I am very glad that I live up just on a little bit enough of a hill that all the water runs off my place. So, fine with me. And those 2 trees are gone. They've been cut down or removed. So, let it rain. Only thing that they're saying could happen is with some of these storms, because underneath some of the clouds, we could have microbursts. And I don't know if you guys know exactly what a microburst is. I know they talk about it on the news all over the country. They happen. But it's when cold air comes down out of the storm cloud so fast, in such a rush, it goes across the land, and it'll catch underneath your eaves and stuff. And if things aren't fastened down really well, it'll rip your roof off. It's kind of weird. Really, really weird. And it'll just happen in like a block or two. And then we also out at the airport, because it's a very big open space out there. Well, the base is out there. They get wind shear out in the south side of town. That is, that flips airplanes upside down. Which, I wonder how they keep that from happening out there in the boneyard. Oh, sorry. We have out here at Davis Monthan Air Force Base, we have the one of the largest airplane and jet and other equipment storage facilities. It's so dry most of the time here that takes a long time for stuff to rot. So when something is not being used, they just whitewash it. Seal it up, and man, let me tell you, when we went into Iraq and Afghanistan, that place, one day it was full of planes, B-52s, all kinds of planes sitting out there. Next day, they're gone. They're all gone. They have one section where they have decommissioned airplanes where they take them apart for parts. But there's not as many of those. We're talking acres and acres and acres of airplanes, jets. This is the headquarters for the A-10 here in Tucson. John McCain fought and fought and fought to keep the A10 operating and coming out of Tucson. So that's one thing, probably about the only thing I can say I ever agreed on with him, but he saved us. So, oh, Westover. Yep. Yeah. Oh, hey, I bet yours is active on the East Coast right now. When we start getting active here, I don't really get too concerned because, the A10s, they got to fly them. They got to use them. It's just like your car. You don't want to let it sit. But when the Black Hawk helicopters start flying around, I get nervous. You know why? More often than not, that's Customs and Border Patrol. And they make me nervous because they don't care who you are. If they feel like harassing you, they'll harass you. So, I'm not a big fan of the Border Patrol. I've seen too much. And I don't mean on TV. I mean with my own two eyes. So I have a friend that is 5 foot tall, blonde, white, almost white blonde hair and big round blue eyes. Really cute, stacked, and adorable girl. She cleans pools for a living, you guys. So she's very fit. And she goes through that checkpoint every day. And every day they make her open her trunk. Car in front of her, it was a white older man. They'll wave him. Oh, where you going, sir? Oh, have a good time. Wave him through. Where are you going? You going to work? Oh, yeah, right. They make her open her trunk just to make her get out of her car so they can oogle her. They're just, yeah. You don't want to pay any attention to the dog because if the dog pays in the slightest bit of attention to your car, they'll pull you over and search it. They're looking for drugs and people. But it's stupid. It's stupid because most of the time, what is smuggled in doesn't come in like that. Like on just the main highway. And that is not even maybe 3/4 of a mile off Interstate 10. Just about 45 miles from here, from my house here. The Mexican border is 91 miles south of me. Why do they need a checkpoint this far north? There's also Fort Huachuca, which is cool. Fort Huachuca is the Buffalo Soldier Fort, and it's right there at the border. They have in and out of there. They have one of those airship thing, like the blimp. That's the word I was looking for. Sorry. They have a blimp, and all it does is fly back up and down the border right there, blocking cell phones and communications. So you can drive through there on I-10 and you be on the phone and whoop. Wow, you'll think, wow, I have Verizon. Why? They've never dropped a call on me. Well, nobody dropped your call. It got blocked. They just block them all. I don't think they block like the police, and that's the other thing. Our state police use impounded vehicles as undercover vehicles. So you never know when you're passing a car if it's the cop or not. Tucson. Oh, Arizona's a fun place. Oh, and those guys in that kind of a car, they love out-of-state people. Because you guys don't know what the rules and laws are here. So they look for the out-of-state license plates and they'll follow you. But you won't know it. You don't look like a cop. They might be in a Toyota Sienna minivan. You think, oh, soccer mom or soccer dad, whichever. No, state police. Yeah. It's fun. I still never go the speed limit when I drive. I get there. you know? Yep, they like to see her walk to the back of the car. You got it. She's adorable. She's a mommy, too. Yeah, jerks. And you know they're looking for her every day. Oh, here she comes. Here she comes. Come on, you guys. Check this out. I know how guys are. I hang around mostly with guys. And let me tell you, you guys act like that around me, I'll smack you in the chest and tell you to knock it off. Guys are guys, but these guys, they have power. So, man, yeah, they have too much power. Mari Martel, hi, sweetheart. Mwah, my friend, good to see you. She gives me the sweetest, nicest messages every morning to say good morning on Instagram. Thank you, Mari. I love you. Makes my day every day. Always makes me smile. I post my card of the day and there'll be a little heart. And it's good morning from Mari. So, yeah. And I'm always in this theta state of, because I just finished reading, pulling a card of the day and what is this card saying, and then typing that up. And so I'm in this kind of a fog. So I love it. I love it. Thank you, my dear. Happy Wednesday to you, too. Yes. Speaking of cards, a couple things. The card of the days are getting interesting. The one today was all about, because it's a kitty cat deck. So it was all about catnip. It's the four of Wands, which is probably the happy deck. It's the deck about doing what you want to do for your bliss and your pleasure today. So I was like, yeah, this is perfect for me to go live today, because I love doing this with you guys. So, and then all of a sudden tomorrow we get we get the Knight of Swords, which is all about defending and conquering, and yeah, and then we get the Devil on Friday, you guys. I have a feeling there's going to be a big news drop on Friday. So, yeah. And then Saturday is the Knight of Pentacles. I'll let you guys kind of think about that for a minute, because Pentacles is all about money. The Devil is all about, it can be all about change. It doesn't have to be a bad card. But in this, when I saw it, I kind of went, oh, Friday's going to be an interesting day. So who knows, you guys? With all the stuff that's been coming out lately, who knows? But yeah. And I normally, when I pull the card, I'll pull the whole week. I do shuffles, and then I do the fan spread, and then I'll pull out 7 cards, and then I stack them bottom up. So I can't, so I can only see the backs. And then each day I pull the card. Well, I was just stacking them together, and they're such cute cards because they're all kitty cats. And I peeked. And I went, oh, Spirit was like, I'm glad you saw that. You need to warn people early. So it's going to be an interesting, the next 3 days. And then I hear news last night that we have this massive tropical storm coming in. Okay, Flowing, we'll be here. Hi, Teresa. Yeah, we have a big tropical storm coming in off of Baja California. That's where when we get a hurricane, that's usually where that comes from. So I'm glad it's only a tropical storm, but it's a slow moving one. So they're saying it's going to start coming in today around noon. So sometime in the next hour or so. And so it'll start getting cloudy here pretty soon. It's really humid. It was like, I got up this morning, it was like 75 degrees and 67% humidity. So yeah, welcome to the monsoon in its full bloom. Oh, wow. So that's why today I'm in my Pink Floyd t-shirt and not much makeup, because it'll just melt. It's not worth it. Just be comfortable. Yeah, it's coming in right around noon and not really going to completely be gone. It'll breathe but it's not going very far until Sunday. And it's also covering from western New Mexico to San Diego. So those of you who are in here who are watching, who know people in Slab City, you might want to tell them to get to high ground. Because what I saw on radar for later on, this is scary. Right over where they're at, it's such a dark red for rain. There's going to be, that desert turns into a massive lake out there. So, yeah. So if you know anyone out in Slab City, in California, out there by Death Valley, I'll warn them, please. I don't hang out in that crew anymore on YouTube, so. But I do care about people. The people out there that are homeless and have nowhere else to go. So I would hate to see something happen to them. Yeah, so bunch of new stuff happening. I get to announce today I'm going to have my own like bulletin board or section on the Tarot Love Community website, you guys. I get to put my card of the day that I normally put on Instagram. I get to put it on the TLC website every morning. Whoa. Get the low battery message. TLC website every morning. Renee, I just started working on that today. Almost was late starting because I was all involved in, now I need to do, how do I need to do, trying to figure out all the ins and outs of it. So I'm really excited. This is so fun. And it'll have its own little comment section, chat section, where you guys can comment on what the cards say to you, what you mean, yeah. So I can't wait. I am so excited. I'm so honored. Oh my gosh. I've only been with TLC for about 18 months, I'd say, almost 2 years, because I signed up when I was just a moderator and a chat person. I just signed up as a teacher and an advisor, spiritual teacher coach, basically. And then I started my channel. So yeah, I'm real excited about that. And as some of you already know, thank you, bless you, I love you so. I am now an Amazon affiliate, or Amazon. They used to call it an Amazon affiliate, but now they call it an Amazon associate / influencer. Once you get to a certain point, you become an influencer and you can have your store where you can pick your products and that kind of stuff. I don't have a big enough following on YouTube to rate that quite yet. You got to have 1,000. I think you have to have 1,000 subscribers to be able to sign up as an influencer. So what I do the card reviews on my channel. I just did this one. This one was yesterday. So there's in the link, I need to warn you, inside the link to look at these cards on Amazon if you would like, so that you can decide if you want to buy them or not, is a code that is mine. And what that does is says it's just an identifier. Your purchase was made because I sent you there. And so I get a 1.2% commission. And it doesn't influence your price at all. So what the hell? Why not? Might make a quarter off of this. So I signed up. So then I spent all day Sunday going through all of my card review videos and redoing all the links for that. So now if you want to buy any of the cards that I have done a review on, all you have to do is go to that. They're all in a playlist, card review playlist. Go find that card, that deck, if you're interested in it. Look down in the description box, and where the link is, there's a link. inside the link, you'll see that you'll know it's mine because it says kdmoonchild SW-20 right in the middle of the link. So, and then the thing that's really cool is if you go ahead, if you decide those don't really talk to me, and you go on and you get something else because you came into Amazon from my link, my identifier, I will get a commission off of whatever you do buy. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win for me. It's a win-win for you guys. Personally, I don't have a lot of money to be able to donate to channels and memberships and stuff. So I figure, I'm telling everybody about this because it's a great way for you guys to get what you want, what we use, and we get just a little attaboy for it. And I do mean little, but hey, it's bigger than what the ads on YouTube pay. You ordered antacid? I love it. I love it. Hi, Swampy. Mwah. Sweetheart. Somebody ordered cards, so I know. Yeah, I'm really excited. I am so happy. Yeah, the only stipulation is you have to make, I think they don't send you a check until you've reached $50. And I told them to put it in a gift card. I'll just accumulate it in a gift card. But they don't put it anywhere until you make $25. And you have 180 days to make $25. And if you don't, they'll cancel you. Janet P. Hi, darling. Good to see you. Oh, is you Flooring? You ordered cards and antacids. I love it. Well, thank you very much, dear. Was it these cards? These tarot with the keywords? These things rock. Oh, I was having a lot of fun with them the other day. Oh, they're so fun because I know tarot, but I'm not confident enough to use it for other people yet. I can play with it for me and read along with readers and that kind of stuff. That's one thing you will not see me do very often, unless it's something I am totally don't know what I got. Help me read this. I won't put in the chat when I'm watching another reader. I won't put in the chat the cards that I've pulled, because most of the time those are for me to think and look at. But once I get drawn to Lenormand, I only know how to do like 3-card spreads with Lenormand. That's how new I am with it. But I am so addicted to the darn decks. There's beautiful decks. I got one coming today that I just ordered, another Lenormand deck. So there'll be a review on that one Tuesday. I'll put it together this weekend. So I just, to give me the confidence on the cards, like when I do collaborations and with people on their channels, and they use a lot of tarot, and here I am with my oracle. Although oracle is my babe, that's my jam. That's always has been for a long time. This is another story though. Oh, you look at all that stuff on the outside of that card. That's just the beginning of what there is to know in that card. The colors all mean something. And I love it that I get to show you the Lover's card because they don't have any clothes on. No, I'm not one of these people who draws clothes on my tarot cards. They're made that way for a reason. I mean, the human body's a beautiful thing. I don't cover it up. Well, I cover mine up because it's not like all the rest of the human bodies. Besides that, YouTube wouldn't let me on here. Hey, yeah. So anyway, you guys need a card. I got like 22 decks here sitting and looking at me saying, hello. I know we can start with one. Let's start with a Therapet. Let's always start with a Therapet. I pull them about 10 times a day. I walk by and just stick my fingers in the deck and pull one out because they're all so positive and uplifting, and my card display thingy's falling off. They're so big, they're so easy. I'll just pull in and pull one out. And what does it say? We'll do it the way I do. Every time I walk by, I'll pull out a card. There you go. You are not a burden. We are lucky to have you. Look at the light at the end of the tail on that critter. I wonder what kind of an animal that is. So yeah, they're always like this. I like to post them in the middle of the day on Instagram. Because usually by lunchtime you're going, oh, I can't wait until the end of the day. Especially if you're at work. So whatever I can do to help you smile through your day, that's my whole reason for doing this. And self-care the crap out of your life. And you'll get through it okay. A lot of that goes on in this household. Kitty cat snooze. Cat naps. Especially when it's hot. It's going to be really interesting. I don't think I'm going to get a lot of sleep at night the next few nights. That's okay. I love the drama of these storms. I just don't like it that people that live in low-lying areas can get flooded out and stuff. And between Mexico and Arizona, there's a river, Tucson. There's a river that flows. It's the Santa Cruz River, and it flows north from Mexico up. So when it rains and floods really bad, we get flash flooding. People in Mexico, because they don't have the shores of the river alls, here they got it pretty much cemented and stuff, so that it doesn't keep washing away and caving off as it floods through. But it's not like that down in Mexico. And they'll find people up here near Tucson and like their hand is sticking out of the dirt because they were down in Mexico and fell in the river. And there's rocks and trees and branches and oh man in that water, and it's just, and it's black. There's no way you can even know what's up or down, and you're beat to death by all the debris in the water. People, we have a lot of roads that do this, steep dips. I mean, really steep dips. Like you can't, only way you know what's going on when you're at the top of the thing is you better look down, because if you just look straight across, you have no idea the road goes that way. Oh my gosh, Goodyear is really hot flowing. Goodyear, that area, Superior and Goodyear, there's a lot of times where that's the hottest area, hottest city, hottest towns in the nation. Really hot. But if your friend is all about sun worshiping, that's a good place to go. There's a lot of retired people in Apache Junction, Goodyear, and Superior. They're all outskirts of Phoenix. Goodyear is a little farther out. It's closer to the little town of Florence. Little town of Florence is famous for we have death. That's where death row is. So a lot of the people that live in Goodyear, and he loves the sun. Well, it's perfect then. It's perfect for him. A lot of the people that live in Goodyear and Superior and Florence, that area, they all work at the prison. So it's a very big prison. We have Arizona collects them. We got private prisons, federal prisons, and state prisons. But you know how we all love Arizona politics and Arizona politicians. Like ones who declare that they won before the election's even held, and then 5 seconds later is saying how it was all rigged if she loses because she already won. She's got proof of it, but no votes have been cast. And she's like, no votes have been cast. very next breath. No votes have been cast yet, but I know they're all cast for me. Okay. No, but no votes have been cast yet, but they are all cast for you. All that nothing is for you. Okay. Good. Weird. She's doing that like the day before election day. Election day was Tuesday the 8th. Last Tuesday. That weekend before, she was going around declaring that she had won and all that stuff. Miss Carrie Lake. She's also saying if she's elected, she wants Arizona to secede from the union. And I'm going, the people might have a voice in that. We don't want to be separate from the United States. I kind of like living in the U.S. Kind of love my country. You want to see mass exodus, turn Arizona into nothing, and only be with Spanish land grant people and that kind of thing? Do that, Carrie. Do that. That's what she's doing. She's just wanting to save Arizona for the rich. And it's really weird because she was a stupid newscaster before she drank the QAnon Kool-Aid. So, yeah. Oh, you've got Abbott. Got Swampy. all we need is to join the party. I thought the governor we have right now is bad, but if that woman in Carrie Lake wins, I'm moving. I'm out of here. Well, I kind of plan on doing that anyway. Don't know where I'm going yet. So I think I'm going to get a box truck and convert it into a tiny home and see where I end up. Let Spirit say, hey, turn right. Okay, let's go here. Ooh, we could spend the night in this place. Okay, check it out. I think wandering like that just to me sounds great. This is the time for me to do it. I have no family. I have no spouse. All I have are the 2 cats to answer to, and they can come with. So, yeah, I can. He blames everybody for his disability because he wasn't born that way. He's the chronic victim who's going to take it out on everyone he's come across. I've known people like that. I had a cousin like that. She was born with cerebral palsy, never walked in her life, and everyone in the family catered to her, except me. I refused to. My dad was like, Katie, and I was like, let him get mad. I don't care. She was mean. She was vindictive. And it was like, forget her. No. She's like 20 years older than I am. She passed away. But flowing, her mom and stuff were kind of all, they raised the cousins and everybody that disowned me. Now, they never would have disowned me no matter what I did. But the others, judgment, self-righteous, yeah. But that's my family. That's my blood family. I don't claim them anymore. That's why I say, this is a perfect time for me. Do a box truck or a van. No, I don't want to go buy an RV. You know why? My father fixed up RVs most of my life. You know what RVs do? They're cold on the bottom because they're not insulated underneath. Where is it colder? Is it colder in the sun or colder in the shade? So if you're somewhere that's really cold, all that cold's going to come right up through the floor. It doesn't travel too far up because, heat rises, cold falls. But if you have like a fifth wheel and it's not insulated really well under the floor where your bed's at, cold air comes up under there. Also, RVs are really bad for leaking. And that's the death of an RV. I mean, that'll make them rot like that because they're not built with very good material, which also brings up the other thing. It only takes 7 minutes for an RV to, from the moment the battery catches fire, for it to burn to the ground. The tires take almost longer than the rest of the RV. So, no, I don't want an RV, thanks. No, they actually shouldn't even be on the road. Box truck, and also a box truck is square. I will be doing this unless Stoney wants to help me. Hint, 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 hint. I'll drive it and sleep in it vacant in the back. I'm thinking like an old U-Haul or a Ryder truck. I'll drive it up there, dude, if you'll help me, Mr. Carpenter Builder dude. So, yeah. That's my plan. And I have no idea where I'm going. Yeah, it's my time. I know that it's time for me to go because only neighbors I really get along with live directly across the street from me, and they just haven't even lived here 6 months yet. So that'll tell you a lot. I love them. They're great. You know what's cool? They have a wall around their house, so it looks like a hacienda. So on the other side of the wall, it's gorgeous with plants and a fountain and stuff. So they don't give a shit about what anybody does. Their whole world is inside that wall. So I'm going, I can stay here, and the neighbors on each side of me are mad at me. Maybe each one of them will build a wall, and I don't have to. I want this one on this side with the dogs to build a wall. Not because I don't like the dogs. It's that she goads them to bark at me. Like I'm a cat. You know how some people go, look at the cat, get the cat, get the cat with their dog. Her dogs bark at me, especially her American Bulldog boxer mix. Barks at me, and she's like, good boy, good, keep it up, good boy, good job. I'm like, wow, lady, you're encouraging your dog to do that. What happens if the dog gets in my yard, and I come outside, don't know that dog's there? I surprised that dog. That dog's not just going to bark. Dog's going to lay into me. She's fucking training the dog to attack me, and she doesn't even know it. She's a cat person. And the other dogs she had 2 little pound puppies, mixed mutts. Hi, how are you, Beck? And then now she's got like 3 little chihuahuas. They're cute. 3 chihuahuas and then this big dog. So all she's used to dealing with are small dogs. Well, yeah, she'd get your chihuahua to go bite your ankles is a different story. I can kick that dog away. But that boxer American Bulldog almost pulled her 6'5" husband down to the ground trying to chase a rabbit the other day. He was on a leash. So yeah, she's got. So I decided every time I go outside now, my phone goes with me with record on. Goes with the record on. Yeah, I get you, Beck. I get you. I'm a cat person, so I like dogs. Dogs are cool, but I respect them. I was a vet tech for 4 years. I know what a vicious dog can do, and I also know how to protect the vet from a vicious dog. You put yourself in the way, because last thing you want is for the vet. Your job number 1 as a tech or an assistant for the vet is to prevent the vet from getting bit. Oh, definitely. I smell like a cat. Oh, absolutely. And I'm so proud I smell like a cat. I have 2 big cats. I have 2 half Maine Coon cats, sweetie. So my male, there was a picture on Instagram of this man holding a Maine Coon, and he stretched, well, it was a little short video, and he stretched the cat out. Cat is identical to my male. He weighs 27 pounds. The cat filled up the doorway. He stretched him out. My cat lays on the other side of the bed. Hi, Sherry. Cat lays on the other side of the bed or by me. He doesn't fit in my lap. he lays by me and yeah, if he lays on me, on my chest right here, he is from here all the way down to my knees. He's a big boy. Oh, he's lovely when it's cold. He's like, come here, buddy. And he likes to lay on me when it's cold. So I know I live in Tucson, Arizona, and you're going, it gets cold. For me, it's cold. My blood's thin. I live where it's warm. Okay. So I have very thin blood. Believe me, you stick me. I bleed and bleed and bleed, bleed. No, I don't eat a lot of. I need to eat more green vegetables. My blood's kind of thin. So. The reason I stopped and paused there was because I think, now what vitamin is it that thickens your blood? It's vitamin K. And dark green leafy vegetables like lettuce and broccoli and stuff. Broccoli's loaded with it. Your cat doesn't like cuddles? My cats love cuddles as long as it's their idea, as long as they come. But you don't want to pick up a 27-pound cat anyway. He's very awkward to pick up. He knows it's awkward for me to pick him up. I have fibromyalgia, so my upper body's not real strong anyway. So when I pick him up, he's nervous the whole time, which makes it hard to hold on to him. So I don't pick him up very much. And I keep looking behind the curtain here because he's usually sleeping up on the pillows on my bed back here, but not today. I don't know. They've been on mouse watch duty. They figured out that the little black boxes that I have around that every once in a while flash this bright green light are mouse traps. They only flash the bright green light when a mouse is in there, and it's an electric mouse trap. And they are very effective, painless, and quick. So none of that spring trap paralyze the mouse and then it dies because maybe you might find it a day later. No, these are have that a strobe light with the green. You can't miss it. Blue, blue, blue. Yeah, it was like, okay, I got a mouse in there. I had one at 2:00. I got up to get a drink of water, and there was one in there at 2:00 in the morning. I'm like, oh, goody. So here I go outside in my jammies and my bare feet and dispose of the mouse. But hey, that's when they're active, you know? So the cats have been hanging out watching this because they're lazy. I had to get these traps in the first place because the stinkers don't hunt the mice. They just lay there and watch them. My girl kitty, she's more into hunting. But I don't think she quite knows what to do once she kills it, which is fine with me. I don't want her to eat it. That's how they get worms. Oh yeah. Only problem is Marie Hansen. Hi, Marie Hansen, sweet love. With the glue board, that takes them a long time to die unless you've got really strong poison in your glue. These things are like that. They work just like dang bug zapper, only they're for mice. And then there's a bigger version of them for rats. I don't know if nutrias would quite fit in there, Sherry. But yeah, very flowing. I know. But let me tell you, you don't even have to see them. You take the lid off and put the lid on, and that's that. So yeah, I can't have them in my house. They carry hantavirus, which is just as deadly, if not deadlier, than COVID, because hantavirus attacks the healthy. And it literally eats your lungs. So it was first discovered in the Navajo long distance runners in northern Arizona and northern New Mexico, because it killed one of them. He was 19. He went, I don't remember, his University of Arizona, I think. He was a runner anyway for one of the colleges, one of the universities, and down here. And yeah, those guys run like no problem to run 35 miles. The long distance runners. That was the only way that they communicated. So kind of cool. So yeah, that I don't want that in my house. And if I can dispose of the mice, get them out of my house. Arizona's weird on their building codes. My house sits on a cement slab. However, where the bathtub is and where the dishwasher goes, there's no cement slab. There's just dirt. Just dirt. My house was built in 1952. So the codes are really strange. If I was to do major remodeling here, I'd have to bring the whole house up to code. So it's kind of tricky what you do. So you do little remodel jobs, and then you avoid that problem. You want the name of the boxes? Well, you got it. Let me see. Where? Oxy. I got them on Amazon. What a shock. I know I have a box around here somewhere from them. Oh, might be in. I sit on an ottoman. That's a storage ottoman. And is it in here? Nope, not in there. It's mainly tarot card empty boxes. I'll be right back. Let me see. Over there. There was one over there. Where'd I put it? I'll find it and I will put it in the description box. Oh no, I'll post it in the comments. When on the replay. I'll put it in the comments for you. How's that sound, Marie? Because they rock. They're like $19.95 to $21.95. And if you buy them two at a time, they're like $34.95. So they're not very expensive and they work. Takes 4 AA batteries. And I made the decision to quit buying regular batteries and tossing them. Trying to do my best for the landfill. So I got rechargeable batteries. And they work really good in there. Really good. So I have 3 of them. I have one in my grow room, which is the main reason the mice were such a problem. Because they were going after my pot plant. That's kind of an expensive thing for them to munch on. So I had to do something. And that's my medicine. I'm in trouble if I don't, well, not total trouble. I mean, I can go to the dispensary. But right now, I don't have the money to buy much at the dispensary. Because I grow it. I don't buy much at the dispensary. Although the dispensary I go to, I know them really well. I've been going there for years. Then they deliver. So, I'm not agoraphobic, but I don't go out much. I mean, I'll go for walks and that kind of thing, but going out in the public, just first off, as an empath, I can't take it. The energy right now is either really good or really bad or both. And I walk in, as soon as I step inside the grocery store, all I want to do is turn around and run. So that tells me I need to stay away from crowds. Tylenol 3 made you high. I can't take that stuff. That makes me throw up. Yeah, it's even in my hospital record. I can't have any codeine. None. It'll make me. So I can't have cough syrup with it in it. It's okay. I make my own cough syrup. I make elderberry syrup. Elderberry astragalus into lockdown. So, and it's really interesting. Of course, I haven't been around anybody to get a cold from, but I haven't had a cold in 3 years. I take it every morning. And it's supposed to be, this is Hedge Witch Katie talking to you. It's supposed to be really good. I'm not guaranteeing this is not medical advice, but it is supposed to be good to take after you get the colds or the flu too, because it supposedly helps you heal faster. So, and I actually learned how to make it from a video on YouTube. It's amazing the stuff that's on this. I love YouTube. I really do. Oh, I used to make elderberry wine, and that's all I ever had was elderberry syrup, elderberry, like you put on your pancake syrup, not elderberry syrup that tastes like it should go on my pancakes, but you take a spoonful of it every day. All medicine should taste that good. Oh my God. Ugh. I use half a pound of dried elderberries, 2 whole cinnamon sticks. Oh, gosh, I think 2 or 3 tablespoons of whole cloves, quarter of a pound of astragalus root, which astragalus root can be very bitter, but the elderberries are sweet and tart. And then you boil that for all of that stuff. You boil it all together for 45 minutes. You boil it till the liquid is down to half. And then you let it cool enough so that you can put your hands in it so that you can strain out all the solids so that you're just left with the syrup in the bottom. And then you mix in equal amount of raw local honey. And there you go. You got your elderberry syrup. You put it on biscuits. You can put it in. I like to put it in sparkling water. It's really good. Just put a spoonful of it in a Perrier. So good. I don't like Perrier by itself. It's too salty. You're still looking for my email. Oh, my email address? Here. I get it. I'll post it. No problem. It should be down in the description box. Otherwise, it's in my about page, on my channel page. Go to the about page and it says business email, and you click on that box, and then you'll get the Kamchatka I'm Not a Robot game that you got to play. But then it'll pop up with my email, and then you just click on that, and it should just start an email for you. Waiting to pick your shifts for work? That's cool. That's cool. Yes, I remember whorehound candies. I loved all those old-fashioned candies like that, especially root beer. Oh, I loved root beer candy when I was a kid. And we'd come down here on vacation every year from Oregon. And on the freeways, there's, the souvenir places, Stuckies, those kind of places where you could buy pecan. There's fibromyalgia thing. Pecan rolls, all that. Yeah. You could get lollipops that were red dice. They were shaped like one die. And hot with cinnamon. Holy crap. I had to have a glass of cold water when I had one of those things. Whoa, way hotter than an atomic fireball. Oh my God. Ooh-wee. Yeah. I always liked the Jolly Rancher stick too, because when I was a kid, they didn't have the little, till later on, you had penny candy size, the Jolly Rancher flavors, but those didn't come in like green apple and watermelon and stuff. They were just grape and cherry and lemon. The other candy I really liked was Big Hunk, because that you could eat. Oh gosh, that'd take hours to eat that darn candy bar. Big long skinny candy bar. And it's just chewy taffy and nuts inside. Really chewy taffy. And it's coated with chocolate on the outside. Oh, sour cherry lemon drops. Yeah. Or lollipops. Yeah. Lemon drops. That's an interesting one too. Lemon drops are really good to give your kids if they get car sick. Give them a lemon drop. Tell them to suck on it. Don't chew it. And it'll help. I don't know if it's the lemon or if it's the sucking, but it seems to do something with the equilibrium in your ears. Oh, really? Wow. You didn't get Jolly Ranchers until the late 80s in Canada. Gosh. When I was getting the Jolly Rancher sticks, that's all that came. You'd had to break them up to eat them because they were so darn hard. Oh, and candy cigarettes. Oh my God. Yeah, I would save up part of my allowance for my candy cigarettes. Well, both my parents smoked, so go figure. Great role model. uh, Still don't have Jack in the Box, and you don't want it. Let me tell you. Well, I used to eat a lot of fast food, and I've gotten sick at Jack in the Box twice. I will never eat at Jack in the Box anywhere, any town again. I had their mystery meat tacos. They advertise these. Get my 2 tacos for blah 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 blah. Yeah, what is that meat in them? Doesn't they don't say what the meat is. They're not all beef, I can tell you that for sure. But yeah, I got sick on them twice. So, um, because of the climate here, you have to be careful with places that have like steam tables, and because if someone is not coming and stirring them constantly, and the food on the top cools off enough that bacteria can start to grow, people can get really sick. So the health department here watches the smorgasbord and salad bar places real close. But for some reason, Jack in the Box, we have a lot of Jack in the Boxes around. Yeah, McDonald's mystery meat. Oh, dew worms. Ooh, thanks. Yuck. That's like McDonald's French fries. You wonder why McDonald's French fries are addicting? It's because they're not all potato. You waitressed for 17 years pretty much stops you from wanting to take out. Yeah, wanting takeout. I got you. Well, during COVID, I did a lot of DoorDash, and I learned the things you never do through DoorDash. Nothing hot that you want to have it hot. No French fries because they're soggy and limp. Yeah, I ordered a bourbon cheeseburger, bourbon bacon cheeseburger from the Burger Barn, Burger Den. I was like, ooh, that sounds really good. Just sounded so good, and I was really hungry. Well, I ordered it, and man, just as soon as I ordered it, and it wasn't to be delivered for an hour, because something was happening, and I couldn't be there to get it in an hour. So they started making it right away. I was like, wait, it's not even supposed to be delivered for a whole hour. Stayed waiting for them to pick it up to deliver. It was cold, it was soggy, and there was so much of that bourbon sauce stuff on there that it was literally pooling and ponding inside the box. So I complained, and then I found out who Burger Den is. Denny's. It's a Denny's hamburger delivery service. That's all they make, are just burgers. Yep. Someone's doing all caps. Worked in food service for years. Yeah. Oh, honey, no problem. No problem. And I'm not one of these people that cares if you use all caps in here. That's fine. I actually see you quicker. So, and it's not like this is such a fast moving chat. I like it today. Got just a nice amount of people. You know what I like at Denny's? Give me their breakfasts. That's what Denny's is for me. Because that's the after church place to go. As I was a kid, I was raised a Southern Baptist. You go to church and then you go out afterwards for lunch. So for years and years and years, we'd go to Denny's. And then I became a teenager. And then you go out drinking. And then you go to Denny's before you go home so you can sober up so you don't get in trouble for being a minor and drinking with your parents. So yeah, Denny's. I have a lot of fond memories of Denny's French fries with gravy. Not with ketchup and stuff. Gravy. So good. That's I get a big plate of Denny's French fries with gravy. Nothing else. Don't bother with the burger or anything. Just that big old plate of French fries. So good. But I also was up in Southern Oregon where most of the potatoes that are grown around there are grown for Ore-Ida Potato Company. So I am a potato connoisseur, my darling, especially when it comes to cheap old russet potatoes. We used to have, there was a restaurant in Klamath Falls, the town I lived in high school, that all they served were different kinds of baked potatoes. You said the size of baked potato you wanted, and then they had a checklist of fixings that they would load onto the baked potato. Why would you? I mean, I'm not kidding you. Potatoes this big, great, big, giant, that thick baked potato. Baked to perfection. And like you could get like beef tri-tip gravy and all this stuff. So I just go down the checklist and mark it all, pile it on there. And that's what we do. We go before a football game or basketball game or something. We go stop there and eat. And then you could go find the case of beer that you hid in the snow up in the hills during halftime. I'm giving away all my secrets. I only did that for half my junior year and then all my senior year. The rest of the time, I was this little introverted wallflower who I didn't want anybody to see me because I got bullied. I was fat, I had braces, and I had glasses. And I wasn't that fat. That's the thing. I think I was maybe 30 pounds overweight. That's no big deal for a teenage girl. That's nothing. That's healthy. And yeah, but the football players were the ones that there was this certain group of football players that just bullied me relentlessly. So I just did everything I could to not be noticed. You know, I got a question. What would you tell yourself if you could talk to your teenage daughter or yourself as a teenager? What would you tell yourself? Yes, it was fun. Yeah. Always the jocks. Yeah, that's who it was. Yeah. It's kind of funny, too, because none of those guys, they kind of disappeared. They don't go to any of the reunion. I've never been to a reunion, but I used to look at the pictures on Facebook when they'd have them. None of those guys ever, the ones that were really mean to people, especially to the girls, nah. They never were at them. And then we'd get the big list of, who all had passed away. And quite a few of them overdosed. Kind of interesting, in the past. Yeah, you are beautiful and go for it. That's flowing. You got it. That's exactly what I would say. Make it fun. It is not supposed to be a dredge. It is not supposed, we're supposed to make mistakes and learn from them. I hate the word mistake because we're supposed to make lessons and learn from them because that's all a mistake is. Don't call it a failure. There's no such thing as a failure because you can always try again. Always try again. What you see that didn't work the first time, you learned that didn't work the first time. So the next time you try to do it, you're not going to do it that way. So I don't get worried about making mistakes and being a failure and that kind of stuff anymore. Of course, I've had a lot of years to practice. It's all about learning. That's why we're here, is to learn. So, yeah. Speaking of learning, because we got this big old storm coming in, Katie's going to be working and finishing her art project that she was working. Yeah, the Grand Slam. Yeah, I haven't had one of those. And I see ads for them every once in a while. Deanne, hi, sister. Mwah, mwah. I want to see your hair so bad, girl. I can't wait. Yes. Oh, hey, back to my project. Since we're going to have lots and lots and lots of rain, and I'm not going to be needing to go out and water or do much outside, I am going to finish my shaman's rattle and my shamans Medicine board or medicine wheel. I don't get it right yet. Good old fibro day. I love fibromyalgia. Anyway, so our wonderful, beautiful, I had a lovely phone call with her last week. Shining Hawk Healing, Tony. Since she's a shaman, I picked her brain because I wanted to know. I mean, like, if you look at this up close, look how bumpy that is. It's because I used a balloon that had a leak in it. So it was a slow leak. So as it's dried, the balloon shrunk. So this kind of got dented and bumpy. That's okay. I got more of the paper mache mixture, and it's been soaking all this time. So I'm going to make it into like a clay. The clay kind of paper mache instead of strips of paper, which is what this is made, the strips of paper. That works as a good base. This is how they make piñatas, you guys. That works as a good base because your fibers are going every which direction. You can do skinny, fat, doesn't matter. I took my my voters pamphlet. Here it is in Spanish because the English side, I think I tore it all up. And I just went down and just started ripping the pages. So I have a whole bags full of them in strips now. And so anyway, I'm going to make this paper mache clay to fill in the bumps and put it in a bottle like this to dry probably I have a couple of really pretty blue, I think beer came in them. Anyway, got a couple of bottles that are heavy on the bottom so that it won't tip over, to fill in the dents so that it's all nice and smooth. And then it'll look kind of like a maraca. And then I haven't decided what color I'm going to paint it on the outside yet. I'm still waiting for Spirit to guide me there. But here's what it's going to basically be calling in every time I use it. I hope I can read this without crying. Calling home the warriors with their clarity and truth to their destination in peace. And the symbols, I scribbled them out for you so you can see them. This is what's going on the rattle. The spiral at the top is the coming home for the warrior's return. The broken arrow means peace. That funny looking bird is supposed to be an eagle, which is clarity and truth. And this is a mountain range, which is the Native American symbol for destination. Yeah, I was telling Tony about it. And she's like, wow. She says, that speaks to you. I'm like, boy, does it. And so then I had so many questions. It's the medicine wheel that I have the questions about. Thank you. Because there's certain colors that mean certain things and stuff. So that's where I asked her. And then I wanted to know, I didn't want to, in honoring the Native American traditions, on my medicine wheel for me, I need to put Celtic knots because it honors my great-grandfather who fought Cochise and Geronimo, killed a lot of Native Americans. So as a calling of warriors and home in peace, my medicine wheel has to have a part of my ancestry along with the Native Americans in it. And I wanted to know if that was inappropriate because I wanted to honor the Native American tradition of what a medicine wheel stands for. And she was like, no. She says, that's exactly what it's supposed to be. That's your medicine wheel that you use to heal yourself and heal others. It speaks for you. It is about your energy and how you are directing spirit energy with it. So I found this image on Pinterest that I'm going to loosely go off of to paint. First, I'm going to stain so we can see the wood. I have 4 of these, so I can make major mistakes. No big deal. I couldn't find it any other smaller package, but this is birch and it's really lightweight. So I'm going to stain it. I have alcohol inks. They make great stain. So I'll stain it, and I'm going to stain it with these colors. And this is the 4 elements. But it's mainly the Celtic knots that I'm going to be taking off of this. I love that design. They are harder than hell to draw. Oh my God. It's really confusing what goes over top of what and underneath what. And yeah. So anyway, you divide it up into 4. The one to the east is the sun, and it should be yellow. The one to the south should be red because it symbolizes the root chakra, and it is for grounding. The black, there's black, symbolizes the darkness. It also symbolizes the void of, where your soul waits. And that, she says, must always be in the center. Black was always, the void always is in the center. You want the void in the center because that's where you want, for the healing, you want that to go into the void. And then white is used in the north. Obviously, it makes sense. Snow in the north, right? What's really cool is I'm going to take it a little farther because these go into the elements. So I'm going to make the sun is the fire element, of course. The chakra, the red is going to be the earth. They've got a lot of red dirt in Arizona. So that's the earth element. That's your root chakra. That's your grounding. It's got to be the earth. This is water. The water element is actually the black, the void in the center. Water element should be black. And then air is the white. And it symbolizes your 9th chakra. I didn't say that part. I'm sorry. Did you know you have more than 7 chakras? You have way more than 7 chakras. This is the chakra that's just above. It goes crown chakra. Then there's one that's pink. And then there's a white one. And that's what the north symbolizes, is that white chakra. So yeah, I learned a lot from her. The symbolism I found that on Pinterest. Native American symbols. I just typed in a search, Native American symbols, and that's what popped up. So me too. I am too, Deanne. Sunday's going to be a good time. Yeah, we've got a lot. I'm going to give her some computer pointers and stuff. So thank you, Sherry. I love you guys all. I mean, you're my sisters. You're my friends. Teresa Cole. Speaking of my sister friend, I love her. I never call her Teresa TK. I always, in the chat, you'll notice I always say, hi, Teresa Cole. I asked her if I could at first. But yeah, it's like, you guys know my whole name. It's a hard one. Lisa from Spirit Intuitive View. No. And I can never remember the names of people's channels. You guys all know who Lisa is. Anyway, she and I are both Smiths. So we've been talking about it would be fun to do the Smith sisters. Do a show called The Smith Sisters with the 2 of us. Yes. Hey, there you are. You're back. Hey, you know what? Stony. I even was talking to you and you weren't here. I was talking about I want to get a box truck and convert it into a tiny home, and I will drive it up there and camp in it empty if you'll help me do it. You're the carpenter, my man. Oh, no problem, sweetheart. No problem. This is a pretty safe space. We don't get trolls and stuff in here very often, so I just want you to come here to be you and have fun. We're just hanging out in my house, Oh, thank you, Deanne. Thank you. Greeter, hugger, I do not mind. to it all. I love you, sweetheart. And you're Teresa Cole to me. So not enough people go by their names, and I fully understand why. I mean, I was terrified to show my first name for a long time when I first started this channel because the KD and kdmoonchild, I didn't have world. I was just KD with my first name spelled K like it is instead of the letters, the K and the D. And then I didn't have the world. That was what my channel was before. So after 3 years, I finally got brave enough to switch the name up a little and come back. Yeah. So I want to know, ouch, something's going to be happening this week, later this week. Now we have had a lot of solar activity in the last couple weeks. Right, I thought that was really interesting. We have a lot of solar flares right around Lionsgate portal. Nah, it's not a powerful time at all. And then our lovely friend Dolly informed me last night that there is a massive plasma burst headed directly for Earth. We suffer from them often, and sometimes they're not. This one's major big, and sometimes they'll like knock out communication satellites for an hour or something like that. I keep thinking about those cards I got for the end of the week. Something big is going to happen, and I'm wondering if that plasma burst is going to knock out the internet. People are going to freak out, try to blame it on each other, try to blame it on Russia, try to blame it, when it's nature doing it. Yeah, reader chat's your only socialization, sweetheart. I understand. You want to change your name? Oh, when you change your name, you've got to do it in Google. So you go and sign into your Google account. I can talk you through it if you want to. Yeah, we can FaceTime or something. Sure, I do that. It was Swampy. I got, I do card of the day, as you know, on Instagram, and I peeked at the cards for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and they're heavy. They're heavy. Friday's card is the devil card, darling. And I've got this big storm over the top of me. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and Sunday. Rachel tells me this plasma burst is supposed to last through Sunday. And I'm really wondering. And then she says, I hope it doesn't knock out our communications. And I went, oh, whoa. Because readers have been talking about there might be a time when the internet goes down. Can you imagine 4 days without the internet? I'm sorry, but that would be bliss. That would be really interesting, though, because even the books that I have to read, well, they're downloaded on my Kindle, but they're connected. No, they're not. Because when I'm not connected to Wi-Fi, I can still read them. Okay, you guys, in preparation for this weekend, download crazy entertainment like you want to watch movies, whatever, just in case. And I don't know, it's just really weird. I've been feeling this. Make sure all your rechargeable stuff is recharged. Make sure keep your phone charged, keep your computers charged. Just, I don't know, just something's up. Something's in the wind. Something is in the wind. The storm's hitting you tomorrow? It was supposed to start here about 19 minutes ago, but it's still really clear blue skies. There is a slight breeze, though, picking up. So it's coming in. these things. I showed you these things last week. Remember, I was talking about, I was feeling the need to test them and make sure that they worked. And this is my little solar phone charger. It's a little solar bank. It'll actually charge my laptop if it's sitting outside in the bright sunshine. It'll charge it with the through USB. So it has two kinds of USB. And then it also has the, what you charge your phone with, that wire. So you can charge it with USB or whatever. This thing, I think it was like $40. That's worth the $40. Make sure you can make a phone call in an emergency. This is a crank radio. You charge it by cranking it up. Actually, it's kind of slow doing it this way, but it'll do it. It's better than being stuck somewhere desperate, But the thing that's good about this is it also has, that really bright light. But that's a solar panel right there. So it'll charge by solar. Bright light. And then it has a light on this end. It has 3 lights actually here. And the radio works.
Success stories at TucsonMedical.com and schedule an appointment online.
Yeah.
Golden
Great, nice commercial. But it works. It's got weather band, FM, and AM. So I have, I can at least know what the weather's doing. So yeah, this thing, and I think this was $25. Wasn't very expensive. Yes, it charges my phone. Both of these will charge my phone. I have an iPhone, and it came, because iPhone has a different shaped charger, it came with the Apple Firewire adapter. So fire cord adapter. So yeah. Actually, I kind of like listening to this radio every once in a while. I don't listen to FM very often. It's kind of fun. You want to know what's going on with the businesses and stuff, with the commercials, and it's fun. I get the heavy metal channel, and I'm fine. You have an Android phone? Well, that's cool because it comes already with that. Is the normal charger. And if you've got doesn't Samsung have a different kind of, they used to, when I had my Samsung, they had an adapter that you put on the deal that would make it so that you could use it in other plugs. No problem. You never need to apologize for anything you say in here, honey. Because that's like I said, you're at my house. This is you're welcome here. We come here to talk. We come here to feel comfortable. We come here for inspiration, and we come here to catch our breath. So talk about whatever, anything you want to talk about. I'm open. We can read on things. If I don't know the answers for stuff, okay, we can look it up together. Also, the other thing I wanted to let you know, I am planning to do some art tutorials. And I will make them as videos, I think. I don't know. Because you need to be able to ask me questions. I need to do them as a live stream, huh? We might take an hour of this particular live stream for art tutorials after the first of the year. Or maybe after Thanksgiving. Nah, people will be busy doing the holidays. After the first of the year. Gives me a chance to start working on what we can make and a list of supplies and that kind of stuff for you guys. And that would be free. You just have to buy your own supplies. I'll teach you how to do alcohol inks or colored pencils or watercolor pencil. That's all fun because it's like coloring. How to shade. We can do some adult coloring. How to shade in an adult coloring situation. Decide what direction is your light coming from, and the opposite of what way your light's coming from, that's where the shadow goes. It's pretty fun. You can practice that with printing, make different style of fonts, play around, doodle printing, and then try to make it 3D. Ooh, you make dream catchers and medicine bags. Oh, girl, I need a medicine bag. Yeah. I have a medicine bag, but it's a little teeny tiny thing. It doesn't have enough room for much but little chips of crystals. And then I have a piece of beeswax with valerian root. No, God, that smells like a cow pie. You wouldn't want to wear that around your neck. What is it? Lavender, tea tree oil. I can't remember what the other one was. Copaiba, I believe, because Copaiba is good for pain. And I used to wear that around my neck all the time for my fibromyalgia. Till I found CBD, and the doctor told me, why don't you try smoking? Why don't you try using marijuana or cannabis for your pain? And I was like, really? He says, yeah. And this was a pain specialist. And he says, the only thing is, the way the law is written, if you do that, I can't see you anymore, and I can't prescribe any pain meds for you. I said, see ya. I'm out of here. You're prescribing marijuana to me. I'm out of here, bud. I don't need that pharmaceutical pain shit. No, thank you. That stuff makes me stupid, makes me foggy, and it makes me throw up. So I was like, woohoo, you made my day. See you, dude. So does it help ADHD? With medicine bag. I love it. Okay, that's good to know. I actually found on Pinterest a pattern for medicine bag. And I even have a bead loom and everything. I want to do an eagle or a thunderbird. I have a merino ram sheep, merino wool skull. And it's got these horns that spiral like this. He's really cool. And I covered half the face of it with a chamois, leather chamois that you use on your car. It's a lot cheaper to spend $20 for one of those and cut that up than to go and buy a piece of leather from a leather store. I mean, that stuff's really expensive. So anyway, I put the chamois over the face, and then I painted a thunderbird right here where the hole is from where they executed the poor thing. You got to cover that up, obviously. So I put the thunderbird there. That's where his spirit came out. So that's why I put the thunderbird. And then in all the cavities, in the dark recesses in the nose, and it's just the upper jaw. And so all around where the teeth and stuff were, and sheep and goats don't have teeth in the front. So there's a lot of cavities up, dark spaces in the bone. So I painted all those dark spaces in really, really black. And then I took turquoise, little turquoise nugget chips that I got. Oh, boy. I bought it. I think friend of mine and I bought it a pound. Was it a pound? Might have been 5 pounds. Anyway, we bought a bunch of turquoise nuggets at the gem show one time and split it. It was like $35. And we split it. So it was like $17.50 for a half. I think I got a half a pound of these little turquoise nuggets. And so I made lots of stuff with them. But he is everywhere there's a dark resource where it would fit, I would put a turquoise nugget. He's gorgeous. He's beautiful. And then I managed to get him up to Scottsdale and shut it off. And there were people that were like, yeah, if you can make them and bring them up here, we will sell them for you. And I wouldn't take anything less than $300 for that thing. And it wasn't that much work, but wow, did it look cool when I was done. Really cool. I mean, only drawing I did was a stupid Thunderbird, which is basically a square. Well, it's 2 triangles for the wings, a triangle or a square for the body, and then you got another triangle for the tail and a square for the head. I mean, this is the eagle. The wings are a little different, and that's the only difference really with the eagle versus a Thunderbird. And then I totally blew it on the Native American part. I always have to, it's tribal. It came from somewhere else. So then in the middle of the Thunderbird, it's a big red Thunderbird. And then in the middle of it is the yin and yang symbol. Hello. But hey, these people were willing to pay me. These jewelry stores and stuff up in Scottsdale were willing to pay me for him to use for their display even. So, in the window displays. So, yeah. And I was going to do it, man. I had it all set up. And then my source for the skulls went out of business. And that never got off the ground. But, yeah. What are we making? We aren't making anything right now, but we were making, I was telling you how I made a ram skull. How I decorated up this ram skull. You see a lot of the cattle skulls. But that's because you go to a slaughterhouse and you can load your truck up. But when you get something like a goat or a sheep ram, and like this guy, he had, his horns were like this big around, and they were long, and they spiraled down like this. It was really cool. Your girlfriend sent you a picture of Obama eating fries. Above him said, "I never had a home that got raided by the FBI." I love all these people that are putting out, celebrities and stuff are putting stuff up on Instagram saying, oh, gee, what a bummer. The FBI raided your house, you poor victim. Maybe you shouldn't have done what made them come to your house. They don't come to my house. Marjorie Taylor Greene and all those guys are all going on and on about how corrupt they are, and they're going to come to your house. No, they're not. I'm law-abiding. I don't break the law. I grow marijuana, and I grow it 100% legal. 100%. Because I don't want any neighbors calling the cops on me and then losing my medicine. I have fibromyalgia. I can't function without CBD. So, oh, I know they can raid anybody, but let me tell you, no, they can't, because the FBI was very explained over and over and over again by Merrick Garland even. That was an execution of a warrant. That's a little different. That was signed off by a federal judge that said, oh yeah, you better get that. You better go get that shit. That's different. Yeah, it was a warrant. That's not them just coming and raiding your house for the hell of it because some neighbor called. Or some troll turned you in. Seen that happen too. Yes, we do pay taxes. That's the problem. They make us mind and they make us pay taxes. And they don't. And then they don't have to follow the law either. I don't think so. Don't think so. I don't think the people of this country are going to stand for that. Like I said, the woman that's trying to win as a conservative, I'm trying to be really nice here. I'm trying to be, for governor in the state of Arizona here. Oh, God help us if she wins, you guys. Please pray. Please pray. Because she's another Abbott into Satan. First thing she said, because she won the Republican primary, first thing she said was she wants to Secede Arizona from the nation. You know that's against the law to even say that as an elected official. She hasn't been sworn in, so she's not governor, so she can say that. She's running for office. Right now, she's just a stupid newscaster. Sorry, from Phoenix. Who was a Democrat until she drank the QAnon Kool-Aid, and then now she's wants to be Trump's campaign manager in 2024. Now, I want to know, how can you be governor of a state and a campaign manager for Donald Trump? And she will do anything to get him to hire her for that. And I do mean anything. She's worse than Kirsten Sinema, you guys. Way worse. You spent $50 today and you haven't left your house? I spent $20 yesterday and never left my house, and it's going to be delivered today. I got another damn deck of cards. They're really pretty, though. They're really cool Lenormand cards. The, who is the author? I don't know why Kyle Gray keeps sticking in my head, but no, it's somebody else that I have several of their decks. I have a couple of their decks. I don't know. All I know next year is the deck reviews won't be very next year. Next month, I won't have as many deck reviews because one of the decks that I'm going to purchase 2 decks. One is $55 and one is $48. So that kind of blows my card budget for the month. That's okay, because one is my beautiful, wonderful Shining Hawk Healings deck. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. And comes in a tin and a bag, and the bag has feathers and beads, and it's got a picture of her medicine wheel, and oh, it's beautiful, just gorgeous. So that's something, you know, you get and you collect too, as well as eat. Nikki, mwah, hi sweetie, good to see you. Yeah, I don't do that, but like once every quarter I'll go ahead and buy a $50 deck. But I'm hoping maybe too that the Amazon associate thing will bring me a little more income in so that I can afford that other deck. But definitely Shining Hawk Healings deck is the deck I'm getting first. So yeah, because it's beautiful. Oh, so pretty. And it's an oracle deck. It's not a tarot deck. So, and that's my jam, babes. Speaking of cards, yes, it is. It needs to be the jackass. What about the jackalope? Marie? That's supposedly Arizona's state animal. It's the jackalope. When I was a little kid, that's what my dad always used to tell me. Oh yeah, that's the Arizona state animal. The Arizona state bird, it's the cactus, is the roadrunner. No, it's not. It's the cactus wren. Wait a minute. It's the roadrunner. I don't like those things. They're a bird of prey. They're great in a cartoon. But for the cartoon to be accurate, the coyote gets run over by the Acme truck. The roadrunner would be there eating. So just letting you know what roadrunners are like in real life. They're gross. You got your RSO finally? Good. It's really hard on us fibro people when we can't get our meds, you know? And that even if you're on prescription medication too. You know what, Marie Hansen? I'm thinking it's New Mexico, because I'm pretty sure the cactus wren is the Arizona state bird, because our state flower is the saguaro flower. So, you know, I'm thinking cactus. And a cactus wren is this crazy freaking bird that makes their nest in the jumping cactus. The choyas. Yes, there is, really, honest to God, a cactus. It doesn't jump at you, but it grows in little jointed branches, and they're coated with thorns. Coated horribly with thorns. And if you just get a little bit too close and lightly brush it, they come off on you. We're talking, they're like this big around. And you try to brush it off and it'll just roll. And everywhere it rolls, it leaves itchy, fine thorns. And the only way you can get it off of you is with a pair of damn pliers. That is a cholla cactus, the Mexican jumping cactus. Oh, yeah. They start up in my yard. They get dug up. And that's how all the cactus around here gets planted by the birds. So, oh, pecan pie. I have pecan orchard, huge pecan orchard just to the south of me. On the way to the city the town where they took my little kitty. Anyway, God, I miss that little cat. Every time I go outside to water, I'm still half looking for her because she was my sunshine when I went outside. You know, she would come from wherever she was, meowing and telling me all about it with her tail up in the air and a little bounce in her step. And God, I miss it. I really, really miss it. Anyway. Yeah, the critters here. You want to hear a toad? You want to hear a toad that'll get you really high? Let me find the video. I gotta find the video here. The Colorado River toad is deadly to dogs. Can you hear that? It's raining, obviously. Isn't that creepy?
Believe it or not, that's a toad, Rachel. A toad.
Yeah, you don't want to lick this.
Colorado river toad. Google it. They're deadly to dogs.
Yeah, they are.
Extremely poisonous.
Within 2 hours, they will kill your dog. If your dog, you know, dogs, they got to try to bite and eat everything. Oh.
And he's right out there.
He's right underneath my bedroom window. It was really loud. It was like he was keeping me awake. I was like, okay, dude, I want to sleep to the sound of the rain, but not to you. They're really weird, too, because they're really big like a bullfrog, but they have short hind legs because they live in the ground. They only come out when it rains, and that's just to mate. And then they go back down into the ground, and I think they die. But, yeah, they need the puddles for the tadpoles, and their eggs hatch fast because those puddles dry up quick. Sounds like he has I know. Weird. Yeah, make darts with them. Not quite that poisonous, but some people will lick them. They have a gland behind their eye back here. Some people, I was a vet tech. I know what it does to dogs. You're really stupid if you're a person and you lick one of those. Get you high. Yeah. I know with the dog, that stuff is really sticky, like a latex, and it coats their gums, and it'll make the gums turn a really bloody, blotchy looking red. And that's how you know exactly that they got a Colorado river toad. So then the next thing you're doing is get the wash rag and get it wet, and you scrubbing those. You got to scrub it off the gums because it's going to soak more and more in. And then you got to flush their mouth. And I mean hose flush the mouth for a full minute to a minute and a half. You damn near drowning your dog just to save it from these stupid frogs. And then you better get it to an emergency vet as soon as you can, because they're going to do the same thing all over again. Yeah. And all because, dogs. Hey, dogs love to eat your frogs that are in your yard. They'll eat little frogs, little toads, little frogs, no biggie. Dog is either going to nose it with their nose, or they're going to try to. A lot of dogs are very oral. They got to feel stuff with their mouth. And they do that with that toad, and they get right near those glands, and those glands will squirt that poison in their mouth. And they can die within an hour, hour and a half. Yeah. So, yeah, weird critters. We have weird critters in the desert down here. Hey, got the normal weird ones too. You know, rattlesnakes, black widows, brown recluse. You expect those here. Tarantulas, scorpions. Oh, I love baby frogs. Oh, little baby frogs are so cute. It's okay if humans pick up those, even the big guys. You can pick them up. Just make sure you wash your hands. Don't put your hands in your mouth. The stuff is really, really bitter. No, I haven't licked a frog, but I've helped with a dog, and I had some on my finger. I assume that's what it was, because when I took a break and had a snack, it was a cookie, I think, and I licked my finger, and ooh, yuck, it was really bitter. And I hadn't thought that, oh, you didn't wash your hands. You wash your hands so many times during the day in the medical field that sometimes I think it's pretty easy to kind of lose track. It made me where I wash my hands so much now. Yeah, I keep Jergens lotion in business. Brown recluse, no, thank you. Oh, you got bit in the butt 20 years ago? No, they're not good. Those guys carry MRSA. Stony will tell you about MRSA. My friend Stony Baker in there, because he had it in both knees and almost died. Yeah, I think The Simpsons did too. If it wasn't The Simpsons, it was probably Family Guy. It was one of the two of them where they were licking the toad. And it's funny because I was just talking last night to Deanne about peyote. Because peyote grows in the desert all over the place around here, but not like it did. Because people started harvesting it to get high, and it's illegal as hell. It's protected. It's protected for the Native Americans for the religious purposes. That's the only way peyote is illegal to have in your possession. Is legal to have in your possession is if you're headed to a Native American church service that uses it. Antibiotic shots in your hips. It's not fun. Oh yeah, you guys. Needles don't bother me. I've had so many. I wasn't very smart when I had breast cancer and was doing chemotherapy. I opted not to use a port because I was only going to have to go 4 times. Yeah, I should have gotten the port. But those things are a pain. Literally, they hurt, and you got to keep them clean, and yeah, and infection and all that. So, yes. Oh, okay. Stoney went to go take a break. He helps his buddies. Stoney's a good friend. I've known him a long time. I'm one of these days going to meet him face to face. You know, it sucks when you get to know and love people so much on YouTube and you can't. Hi, you live all the way across the country from me, or you live halfway around the world from me. But that's what makes it fun, is all you guys from everywhere. You know? It's fun. So, cards. Let's see. I've really been into these cards lately. Untethered Soul. I think I should move my stuff all out of the way, except the pendulum can stay. Let's see what Spirit has to tell us. Untethered Soul. gosh, I got so many decks. People ask me, how do you pick a deck? Run my hand like this over them, and then I'll grab one, and that's the deck I'll use. This one, though, is, like I said, I have literally been using it for me. Because the wisdom, because there's no picture to look at. It's just the wisdom in the what the card has to say. It's from the book, The Untethered Soul by Mark Singer. I highly recommend it. I'll take this card. This is from the freeing yourself category. There's, I think, 4 categories. They all have the horse running on the beach. Simply permit the pain to come into your heart and pass through. If you do that, it will pass. If you are sincerely seeking truth, you will let go every time. How many of us hold on to our pain like it's a validation of who you are? Like this is why I'm like I am, is because I went through this. When actually you should be saying, I went through this, it helped me grow, and I let it go. Now, if it was just that simple, because you can't jump from recognizing it to letting it go. There's a process of healing that has to happen in between. And that's the part we all forget about, because that's the part that takes the time, the effort, and the frustration. We just don't like, when we create our memories, and we create our memories, we skip all that. That's why memories are always more, for the most part, the memories we create, that we choose to create, they're usually happy ones. Because you don't want to remember the sad ones, so you block those. And then that becomes shadow work. Because you have to, all of that stuff is meant for you to learn from. And when you hide from it, it will come out. It'll come out somewhere. Learning to let go, I think, is probably the most important and hardest lesson that we can learn in our life, in this life, how to let go. When you don't let go, someone hurts you. Like I was just talking about the kitty. I try not to talk about it, and I try not to think about it. But when it comes up, I don't shove it behind. I go ahead with it. And if it feels like it's coming up in tears, it comes up. I'll cry. It's because it was a decision that was made for me, and I wasn't even consulted in it. And I'm not a child, and it really hurt me from someone who had been helping me for years. All of a sudden just took over and didn't even discuss it with me. My own husband never did that to me. My father never did that to me. Both of them knew. Well, my father, I'm a lot like my father. So you never pulled something like that on him, and you'd be wearing his fist. I mean, he'd beat the fuck out of you. You stole my cat? Well, I'm going to get my ounce of cat out of your flesh. That was my dad. He was a scrapper from the get-go. And my neighbor over there knew it. He didn't like my dad. It's kind of interesting, though, this neighbor that took the kitty. I don't make too many waves with him because he's got a degree. He's got a record for assault. Went to prison for assault. When he was just got out of the Vietnam War. So it's a long time ago. But no, he wouldn't hesitate to hit somebody. So, as a matter of fact, he point blank told me that if my brother ever showed up here, he hoped he didn't see my brother. Because of all this crap my brother's pulled through the years. So, yeah. My brother doesn't even know the guy. They've never even met, but he knows who my brother is. neighbors notice things. Yeah. So, I did the right thing. I asked Archangel Michael to protect me from him and to protect me from him with love. But please, please don't ever let him back in my life again. Then I hung a bagua mirror over my back door that faces towards his house. And so that platypus symbolism, really? Okay, I will. That's cool, Swampy. I'm all about animals, and I don't know if you've ever heard Andrea Galvin tell her story of she was going to meetings because she's a sponsor for Alcoholics Anonymous and all that 12-step programs. And she was meeting, and she's sitting in a meeting, and this guy she knew, she'd known him for years. He was gross. He was an alcoholic. He always smelled, and it was just like, and he always sat by her. And he didn't, the way the chairs were seated, you weren't just like sitting kind of near each other. You were sitting near each other. And she was like, oh God, no, here he comes. Please, no, I don't let him sit by me, please. And all of a sudden, she opened her eyes and she looked, and he sat down with a chair in between the two of them. And couldn't figure out why. And then she closed her eyes again. It was a porcupine. The porcupine quills were sticking out, and he wouldn't sit next to her. He must have felt that the porcupine was protecting her. She was asking, please don't let him sit next to me. So the porcupine was, okay, I'll make sure he don't sit next to you. I think that's the coolest story, the coolest story. So there, in that particular instance, the porcupine was being her spirit guide. And I love it. I love it. My main spirit guide is a man. But my totem animal, which is my animal spirit guide, this is a black jaguar. Very stealthy, very quiet. Hangs out in the shadows until it's ready to pounce. So just don't. I always tell people when I meet them, don't make me mad, and we're fine. And it really does take a lot to make me mad. I don't get mad really easy. So, yeah. You're a platypus. Really? Well, apparently, if it made you think of me, hon, then Spirit gave you that message for me. So, yes, definitely, I will be looking it up as soon as we get off here. I'll look that up. Well, Marie, there are several people in this community that are excellent to help you get in touch with and see who your spirit guides are, how to contact them, who your animal totems are, how to work with them. And it really is as simple as a little hypnosis, really. And you knock on a door and you open the door, and the animal that you see there is your spirit guide. It's pretty cool. My main spirit guide is a human, but he's 7 foot tall, jet black with red glowing eyes. Except when he laughs, they glow yellow, bright yellow. He's got a voice that you hear and feel. I mean, it's here is where you hear him. When I get messages from him, it's right here. It's not in here. It's right here. I know it's him. And he is a priest. In his living life, he was a priest that attended Bastet, the cat god. So, the Egyptians believed that all those gods walked the earth. And so he was the priest that took care of the living Bastet. And so, yeah, I'm cat. I'm all cat. Go figure. This is why dogs like me, but they tolerate me. They don't gravitate towards me or anything. I used to have a beautiful white German Shepherd. Oh my goodness. But, he wouldn't mind me. We were constantly battling over who was the pack leader. It was always, with him, it was always interesting. He was a 120-pound dog, you guys. That's a big German Shepherd. People thought he was a wolf. He was gorgeous. He was just beautiful. But he didn't come in the yard either. Nope. Even people who knew us, if we weren't home, they didn't come in the yard. Which was kind of funny because if you came in the yard with me or my mom and my dad, and the dog was fine with you, he would know you were cool. He'd let you in the yard even if we weren't home. If you had come in the yard initially to meet him with one of us. So, yeah, but if you didn't, he got where he could get we kept him in a great big dog run. But if he could get to you, he'd rip you apart. Especially if you were a male in uniform. When he was 6 months old, I didn't have his run built yet, so I had to chain him up. And the fence was only 5 foot. He could clear that fence, no problem. So I chained him up. Well, this guy had robbed a house up in the foothills, up in the multi-million-dollar houses of the foothills. And as he was running from the police, he got caught by the sheriff. And as he's running from the police, he's throwing the stuff he stole out of the car and decided he'd turn down to come down the main street here by my house and went to turn on the side street and hit a telephone pole. So then he got out of his car and started running. He was in his socking feet because he was, robbing this house and he wasn't going to leave any shoe prints that they could follow. So he was in sock foot, break into these people's house. So the cops chased him barefooted through my house, front yard of the house on the corner by the telephone pole. He ran through their backyard, through the alley, and through my backyard. And the police chased him the whole way. Well, my dog went nuts. These men are running through his yard. Oh, boy, did he go nuts. And I was so glad I had him chained up because I'm sure they would have shot him. Cops would have shot my dog because he would have gone after him. All teeth. Oh my God, that was scary. Oh, but the guy kept running. They caught him in the backyard in the house across the street. That's how far he ran barefooted, sock-footed. Do you know how many cactus thorns and stuff there are in the soil around here? I go outside. I wear my flip-flops, man. It's like, nuh-uh. Otherwise, in the house, no, I don't wear shoes. I, year-round, don't wear shoes. I'll wear socks, but I don't wear shoes. I have very flat feet, and I'm more comfortable without shoes. But yeah, can you imagine? Yeah, my dog was only 6 months old. And so he does not like men and he doesn't all those uniforms, cops. He don't like them. He don't like the uniforms. Oh. He was a cool dog. He was a pretty dog, Snow White. Had a brown eye, and the other eye was half brown, half blue. They call that a glass eye when you have a dog that's got two different colored eyes in one eye. So yeah, it's people talk about going outside and grounding because I teach it too. Go out or do your earthing thing because your shoes, the soles of your shoes are made out of synthetic crap made out of fossil fuel, and it's disconnected you from the magnetic field of the earth. If you want to go and feel calm, feel powerful, take your shoes off and go stick your feet in the dirt. Better yet, make some mud and wiggle your toes in it. Make sure that mud gets in between your toes And you only have to do that for about 5 minutes, and I promise you'll even sleep really good that night. I do it every day. Every day. I'm out there. I walk with the flip-flops to get there. And then I have flower beds. I just stick my feet in the flower bed. So, yeah, see, if you've got leather boots, you got shoes that have natural leather soles like they always used to be, um, don't have that problem. So when you buy shoes, pay attention, what's the sole like? All those silly little things, they seem silly, but they really are important. I have started to buy the silicone bags instead of Ziploc bags. Silicone bags are reusable. You can cook in them. You can't cook in a Ziploc bag. They melt. They come in different sizes. They come even with measurements marked on the outside of the bag. It's not really a bag. It's a silicone container, and they stand up so you can fill them really easily. And when I don't have those, if it's something that I know I'm going to use up really quick, I use those for like long-term stuff. I mean, if it's a leftover that I'm going to eat in the next meal or whatever, I use a used bread bag. And I eat a lot of tortillas, and they always come in a Ziploc bag. So why pay money for that's like literally throwing your money in the trash when you buy Ziploc bags. And they don't deteriorate. They end up in the ocean. They end up as microplastics in our bloodstream. So I'm really preaching the silicone bags. Check them out on Amazon. Go to Amazon. The other thing I'm really preaching, instead of getting saran wrap, cling wrap, if you're in the UK or Australia, Silo wrap, instead of using that, they make it's like a napkin. It reminds me of wax paper, but it's a thinner paper, and it's beeswax, so it's a little sticky, and it'll form and it melts with the heat of your hand. And I have it on a piece of half a cantaloupe right at the moment, instead of using the cling wrap. And you just keep forming it with your hand. It takes a few more minutes, but the heat of your hand, it forms to the top of the cantaloupe, and there you go. It's all sealed and ready to go. Yes, bread. I grew up with wearing bread bags inside my shoes when I was a little girl, because walking to school all the time, I had to walk in the snow. Absolutely. I lived in the national parks, school bus. That's a luxury. Yeah, the kids that you rode the school bus were the high school kids, because my school, when I was in Crater Lake National Park, I went to a one-room school. There were 6 grades in one room with one teacher. I had 3 kids in the 3rd grade with me. There was 2 other kids and me in the 3rd grade. 3rd grade, 4th grade, and 5th grade. So, and then I moved to town. And my room at the elementary school had 26 kids in the room. And then there was another room with another 28 kids. That's as many as I had in my whole school before. You want to talk culture shock? Wow. I hated living in town. To this day, give me the mountains, give me the... And I live in a really, really quiet neighborhood. I have almost a 1/4 acre of land. My neighbors don't live right on top of me, like in the gated communities and stuff. So I guess I got the best of both worlds. I live in a city of almost 2 million people. I'm in the center of the city. I'm almost a 1/4 acre of land, and I have land filled with wildlife, because it's not all manicured, and I don't have a lawn, and I don't grow roses, and I grow a lot of the desert stuff. And if the birds plant it, and I had these 2 giant trees cut down, and I need to replace them, at least one of them, for shade. And I'm going, well, what kind of tree do I want? And I got to wandering around out there where the workmen had all been and stuff. Well, doggone it, there was an acacia tree. Just, it's nice. It comes up to right about here on me, so it's about this big around at the bottom. I don't need to plant a tree. The birds did it for me, and it's been there for a while. So I staked it up so that it was leaning because it was underneath the pine tree, so it was like reaching for the sun. So I staked it up so that it'll grow straight up and down. You know what? Swampy. Here, let me put this. I will go ahead and put it in there. You might be looking for it saying kdmoonchild, and it doesn't. Because it's my email for my parent company. I have because I'm an artist, I have a business license. So I just put this under my LLC. Yeah. I'm doing this in my phone, so that's why it's taking a little longer. There we go. Oh, got the S. No, don't do that to me. Here. Hey, I turn off autocorrect and then I mess myself up. Go figure. Now I pinned it for you. There's my email address, sweetie. And I also pinned it so that you guys can, all of you can have it and take your time writing it down or whatever. But Night Blooms Design is my company name. Yeah, certainly. Certainly. Acacia. Yes, and they're a really pretty plant. They're a really pretty tree. And what's really fun about it, they got lots and lots of thorns. Ooh, it's a stickery tree. But that's okay. When you touch their leaves, they go. It's really, really cool. You go down the branches, down the branch. They have all these little tiny leaves that go off the branch. And you just go down the center of the branch, and the leaves will just follow behind your fingers and fold up. So cool. We used to grow them in Oregon as a house plant, and they were called sensitivity plants. It's an acacia tree. It's just an acacia. Do I have prickly pear? Okay. What a great question is that? I love it. Yeah. Are there birds in the sky? Oh my gosh. I'm looking for a particular picture to show you. It's a live picture. Live photos. There we go. That's my roof. And that round pad is a prickly pear. I was looking for Misty, that little kitty, and I saw that picture. Oh God, I got to take a picture of that for somebody. Because last year I had one growing in the gutter. So yeah, they're all over the place around here. The birds plant them. Yeah. And oh my goodness, that's my favorite jelly. Yeah, I know how to harvest prickly pear. That's a lot of work. First thing you have to do is you burn all the fruit because it's covered with fine little hair-like stickers that get everywhere. Oh, they're horrible because they're so fine and light, they get airborne. So, but yeah, the first thing you do is you just sear them and then you boil them. And boy, is that a good dye. Wow, it's red. Woo Ooh-wee, it's so good though. It tastes like, it reminds me of wild cherry and black cherry mixed together. Very cherry kind of taste. Oh, it's good. Nopalea is the juice from the prickly pear. It's called nopalea. And not too long ago, there was a infomercial where they were selling nopalea will cure all your ailments. And I'm like, oh, really? Okay, if that's the case, then the Native Americans in this area have no ailments whatsoever because they live on that stuff. Oh yeah, I made the jelly. That's what really all you are harvesting them for is to make jelly and candy. Oh, and the candy. Oh, you guys like gummies? I want to make prickly pear gummies. Oh boy. Oh, because the prickly pear candy is delicious. You can get prickly pear candy on Amazon. It's not very expensive either. But if you live where it's hot, and it gets delivered by the U.S. mail or UPS, it'll melt because it's made out of gelatin. But it's so good. Oh, it's so good. Ah, I love prickly pear. Yeah, one of those exotic tastes. It's like. But prickly pear is exotic, but it's kind of got a common taste to it too. Oh, you'll love them. You'll love them. They're delicious. Try it, Swampy. You'll love it. Oh, yeah. I'm serious. Go on to Amazon and type in prickly pear candy and see what you get. And since you're up in Canada, if you don't get anything there, you let me know. I'll send you some. I will send you some because it's good, Beck. It's so good. Oh my God. You and Swampy both. You got several of them in your yard in pots. They get so big here so fast. they'll break a clay pot. If it's a plastic pot, it'll split it right at the seams where they're seamed together. Yeah, yeah. Your Italian parents always purchased them. It's because they grow all over the place in the Mediterranean. Oh, that and the other thing that grows here in northern Arizona in the mountains up by the Grand Canyon, there's an area called the Mogollon Rim. That's a fun word to try to say. Mogollon, and it's spelled Mogill-Lione. Mogollon is how it's spelled, but it's pronounced Mogollon. That's where Bigfoot hangs out in Arizona. It's the north rim of the Grand Canyon, basically. There's a lot of pinon trees. And if you don't know what a pinon is, you find them in the grocery stores as pine nuts. And they cost an arm and a leg. And I grew up on those things. We had those things so much, we fed them to the damn chipmunks. Because the Grand Canyon, when I lived there as a little girl, we'd go picnicking where the pinon trees were, and bring your blankets. Everybody lay their blankets out around underneath the tree. And then, they'd send a teenage boy up the tree. And then he'd get up in the tree and he'd just shake the tree because they come out of the pine cones. Those nuts come out of the pine cones. Come out of the pine cones and the shell and everything land on the blanket. And you just take that blanket, pick it up, and dump it in a cardboard box. And we'd come home with these great big cardboard boxes full of those nuts. I had no idea how expensive nuts were when I was a little girl because I was raised on pecans and pine nuts. My grandma had 4 pecan trees down here, and we never bought pecans. Never. She would get mad at us if we bought pecans. So when I became an adult and had to buy those things, it was like, oh my God. And we fed that shit to chipmunks. If I could just have one of those now. Wow. There's a pizza parlor here that has a Mediterranean pizza that they put pine nuts on. There's 5 cheeses, sun-dried tomatoes, black olives, Kalamata olives. It's just almost a Greek salad on a pizza. It is so good. really, it's like $35 for the pizza, but you eat one piece and you're full. One of those kind. And it's not deep dish, but there's so many toppings on it. It's really good. Oh, you're lucky. Property next door is abandoned as a big pecan tree. Pecans need 2 trees to produce pecans. So there needs to be another pecan tree in the neighborhood. So, hey, yeah, I love Texas pecans. Pecans, man. We have really big ones here. Woof. But like I said, I have 20 miles south of me. There's a big pecan orchard. Pretty famous, actually. A lot of the winter visitors go there to look at that one. And then north of me, between here and Casa Grande, is 2 huge pecan orchards. So they grow lots of pecans around here. Yep. See, I was raised in Oregon, so we had to come down here to get those 3 things. Yeah, the first time I bought a pomegranate for $2 about shit in my pants. What? They're all over the yard. Nobody's paying attention to them around here. Well, they grow all over here. The orange variety and the red variety of pomegranates. And fig trees, it depends on the part of town you're in. Whether if you're in a part of town that gets heavy frost, like up near the river that has no water, the water's underground, unless it rains, then it's on top. The next 4 days, it will be a torrent, the river. Just, I can walk from here to the river. Matter of fact, I might do that. If we don't have a lot of thunder and lightning, why not? I might just go for a walk up to the river. People do it all over the place. I think that might be a good thing to do. Let the rain and make it a walking meditation and let the rain wash me clean. I think that sounds good, don't you guys? I just noticed 2 hours and 21 minutes, 22 minutes. I wish this was a real honest to God river. The only time it ever has water in it is when it rains. Because here, most of the rivers are underground. They're just under the surface. You go down and you walk on the riverbed. Oh, Lord, it's like walking in a sauna. It's really humid because the water is not maybe even 10 feet below you underground. So, yeah, it's kind of a trip. Here we don't have culverts and ditches. We have washes and dips. You can't put a culvert in a ditch here because when the water rushes through there, like I said, it's full of debris like crazy. The culvert will get taken out. They'll just remove it. So they just pave the road down like this. Down the wash and back up out. Like that's dip. So if it's a dippy road and you got to use your dippy road, it's going to storm. You better go home early and make sure you get where you got to go before the rains come, because you're going to get stuck going on that dippy road. Here we have a stupid motorist law that if it rains and there's water that goes all the way across the road and you cross that water and you get stuck, the fire department has to come and pull you out, because people die that way, because you don't know when the next wall of water is coming down, and it might have a tree that like turns your car into a pop can. I'm not kidding. So it's a big emergency. I mean, the fire truck comes and fast water rescue is a big thing the fire department practices over and over and over around here. They can and do charge you to come and rescue you, because they tell you over and over, there's signs, do not enter when flooded. And you enter it when you're flooded and you get stuck, you get to pay for getting yourself out. And a tow truck ain't going to do the job. We're talking guys that are in a ladder truck and they're, hanging from ropes and shit from the ladder because they can't. That's the only way they can get to the car. You see that, you know, when a town is flooding, like in the Midwest or in North Carolina, South Carolina, a hurricane hits or something. That happens here every time we have a monsoon rain. Monsoon starts June 15th and ends September 30th. So stop and think about that. We won't have rain every day, but most of the time it rains off and on. So yeah. Yeah, it was costing the taxpayers a lot of money to go rescue these idiots that are bound and determined, no, I can make it through it. I got to get home. And it's always people going home from work. Always. Yes, yes. Well, you try to walk in 6 inches of water, it will moving. If you try to walk 6 inches of moving water, it will knock you off your feet. 6 inches. And these idiots are out there walking and they're up to their thighs and that water's moving. First of all, if the water is that high, it's already flooded the sewers and you're walking in shit water. Yeah. Yeah. People don't, there's a lot of gross stuff about flash floods. And flash floods happen here. Every time it rains somewhere, it flash floods here in Tucson. And, unless it's a winter rain, because in the winter rain's that light misty stuff. Yeah. The flooding should be pretty bad, I'm thinking, this weekend. I'm really glad I don't live in a low-lying area. That's all I got to say. Like I put it in my card of the day this morning, that if you live in New Mexico, if you live in southwestern New Mexico, Arizona, southern Arizona, all the way to San Diego this weekend, please be careful and stay out of low-lying areas. Because this is a big tropical storm. Thank God it's not a hurricane. Because if it was a hurricane this size, we'd be in trouble. If you stop and think about it, from New Mexico to San Diego, that's 2.5 states. And those are western states. They're big. From Tucson to El Paso, which is, you go through New Mexico, right? And barely, you go through the corner of New Mexico. It's only 2.5 hours drive from Tucson to El Paso, Texas. But it shouldn't be called Texas. It's just that little panhandle thingy that sticks out there. You know, it sticks west of Laredo and stuff people don't always like to admit even exists. Yep. Yeah. it's not unusual for people to die from that. That's why it's called the stupid motorist law. And those firemen, they're out there, they're rescuing, they're sticking their lives out. But you know, God bless firemen. They're the ones that run in. They're not the ones that are afraid of an AR. They run in. You know what happens in God, you go into running into a burning building, you don't know if that building's going to full and explode on you. You know, those guys, God bless firemen. God bless them. They don't stand around and figure out, well, what? Oh, should we enter this way or what do we do? The captain's like, do, hook the phone, that car just ran over the fire hose. Go get the license plate because it's an expensive ticket. It's a $1,500 ticket here if you run over the fire hose. Whether it's empty, whether it's got water in it or not. Yeah, it's a big no-no. But yeah, my ex-brother-in-law was captain in the Tucson Fire Department, so I kind of fond of them guys. Besides that, they're nice to look at. Sorry. Hey, I'm single. I'm not dead. I'm 64. I'm not 65 yet. And hey, what woman, our prime never really ends, you guys. Poor guys. They got to do it while they're young. We don't need a pill. We don't need a little blue pill, ladies. Sorry. You're 49, not 50. Hey, there you go. I started to say, to be 49 again. And I went, no. That's the year I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I spent my 50th birthday recovering from mastectomy, watching the Super Bowl on Super Bowl Sunday. I had just had surgery like 2 days before. Wasn't moving very far in a recliner. Yeah, Super Bowl Sunday. I thought it was pretty nice of everybody to celebrate my 50th birthday. Yeah, it's my 50th birthday. What a way to celebrate. I couldn't celebrate it, so it was nice of everybody else to have a good time, I thought. Every 10 years, the Super Bowl is on my birthday. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was quite a... That was in 2008. Yeah, it was a Saturn return year because I was born in 58. Yep, it was a Saturn return year. My whole life changed. That I'm like Linda G. I didn't get as far as seeing the other side, but I certainly heard from the other side often. I mean, I thought I was hallucinating, but I know now I wasn't because I recognize those voices. I hear them all the time. Yes, I hear voices all the time. My spirit guides. I don't know what it would be like not to have that. But they don't say anything now unless I ask, pretty much. You saw me do that? It's because Akramal's standing there and he's giggling. He was laughing. My birthday is February 3rd, 3 days before Ron Unconditional Love Tarot's birthday. So he and I have a lot of fun. You have to go with the Bears. Yeah, the Bears. Yeah, kind of scary. So you guys, I love you. I could sit here and talk all afternoon with you guys. You're fun. You're my girls. Yeah. You have number 2 sun also. Oh, you can't remember which. Well, all the planets will go retrograde at some point or another. But to have it in your birth chart is kind of cool. You're 923. So you're a Libra. I'm sorry, you're a Virgo. Virgo? Virgo's the first part of September. Anyway, I'm not an astrologer, so I do have a cheat sheet, though, for astrology. Actually, the little card, hey, that comes with this deck that you got flowing, it comes with a card inside it. There's the box. I was looking for the box. It comes with, instead of a guidebook, it comes with this really cool pamphlet card, and it has layouts and stuff on it, as you know. But it's got astrology stuff here. Okay, here we go. September. Ooh, that's a cusp, woman. Yeah, you're a Libra. You're on the cusp between. Your ruling planet is Venus, and it's a card. You're a cardinal sign, and your element is air. That's why we get along. I was right the first time I said Libra, because I'm an air sign too. I'm an Aquarius. So. No, so you're about Virgo. So you're a cusp. That's cool, Swampy. Yeah, football's a joke. Only thing I like about the Super Bowl is the halftime and the commercials. I don't watch the football game. Nobody's ever taught me. I don't know what they're doing. Doesn't make any sense to me. It's like they pick up the ball and they run for 5 or 10 yards and then they got to go put it back. and they've only made like 5 yards. It's like, huh? So it's like, go forward, go backwards, go forward, go backwards, go forward, 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 go backwards, then kick it, then run like crazy. It's like, okay, I understand basketball. The other one I'm not crazy about is baseball. Yes, I'm an American. Baseball is boring as hell. I love to go to a baseball game. Yes, but to watch it on TV, no. Because I like to watch the outfield. All the action going on with the shortstop and those guys. And all they ever show you on television is the catcher and the pitcher and the batter. Leo, sun, and moon. Yeah, Lionsgate portal knocked your butt, didn't it, girl? Because I have a Leo moon, and it kicked my ass big time. I pretty much slept for 2 weeks. But what I dreamt about and downloaded during that sleep, wow. I didn't know if I was going to get another spirit guide or something. You always are given something during Lionsgate. I love Lionsgate. And as long as you're open and to expansion, they will give you will be given new abilities, all kinds of cool stuff during Lionsgate. So last year during Lionsgate, my grandma came through as my spirit guide. And it's because of all of this stuff going on with the Baptist church. And she's like I am. And the family doesn't talk about her much and kind of ostracize her. So she's my favorite member of the family because the family doesn't talk about me either. I'm dead to them. Thank you so much. Oh, unless I have something I want, and then all of a sudden they're trying to find me. Whoa, your phone number doesn't work anymore. Well, yeah, maybe I changed it because I didn't want the family to contact me. Well, what if we have an emergency? What if I had an emergency the last 7 years and I never heard from your ass? I'm the one who's had cancer and shit, not you people. You know, I'm the one who lives completely by myself. They all have spouses and everything, you know? So, hey. Yeah. It is what it is. And last Thanksgiving, I had a cousin show up for the first time in 7 years, asking neighbors about me. Not knocking on that stalker material, that stalkery stuff. But apparently the family's been using him to drive by every once in a while to see if, you know, the yard was taken care of and if any lights were on or whatever, that kind of shit. Because they want my house. So instead of checking on me, calling me and see if I'm sick, if I've got COVID or whatever, they send him to drive by. So when my neighbor, he's asking my neighbor questions, and this is the neighbor that took the kitty, but I'm really glad he did this. Anyway, he's like, well, why don't you ask her? Why are you asking me this question? She's right there. Just go knock on her door. She's home. And oh no, I don't want to bother. I don't want to bother. And he's like, nah, come on. And he just went and got my mail out of the mailbox, handed it to my cousin and said, here, come on. And he went and beat on my door. Cousin didn't have any choice. He had to talk to me. We were worried about you. Nobody's heard from you in a couple months. I'm like, couple months? Try 7 years. And now all of a sudden people are dying from COVID. You jerk, you want to know if I'm dead or alive so that you can try to get my house. If it's abandoned, you want the house. Wow. Yeah, so I sent a nice, lovely email to every member of my family. You have the mistaken opinion that I need your help, which is really fascinating considering you haven't been there for me in God knows how long. So do me a favor. I'm dead to you guys. Move on. And that's where we've left it. And that felt so good because I walked away from my family. My family didn't walk away from me in the end. And I mean the end. I won't be going to any memorials or any of that. When they all pass away, it's enjoy your life review is all I got to say. I feel I'm past the anger and the hurt and that stuff. It's more, I feel indifferent. It's been long enough now that I wouldn't have recognized my cousin on the street. He looked like an old man, and he's a generation younger than I am. So that tells you the stress of his life. Hey, look at me. Go ahead. Ostracize me for being a heathen and reading the tarot cards. Oh, I told him I read tarot cards. He says, I said, oh yeah, I've been really busy with my life. And he's like, what are you doing? And I told him, oh, I have a YouTube channel. Well, you do? What's the channel name? So I told him kdmoonchild's World. He says, really? What do you do? He says, you doing your art? I said, no, I read tarot cards for people. And he just went, oh, good. Well, I need to get my daughter. He had his daughter sitting in the pickup the whole time. I've never met her. And he never bothered to introduce her to me. So, well, I better get going. I got to get my daughter to blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Do me a favor. He says, please keep in touch with us. I said, is your phone number still the same? He says, yeah, I think so. I went, okay, I'll call you. His number's not the same. And he knew it. So, Yeah. Oh, it wasn't hot. It was Thanksgiving. It was the day before. That's it, too. It was Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Don't invite me for dinner. It's okay. I love my holidays. I live for my holidays because I'm here with you guys for people that are like me. I don't have family to go to, so you're my family. I cook a meal. I have my traditions. I do my cocktail the way I want to. I do my desserts the way I want to. And I don't have to argue with Uncle Joe about bullshit that he brings up because he's too drunk. And you get too drunk in my family, whoa, because that's bad. Because that's not the Christian thing to do. But somebody always gets too intoxicated. Isn't that the way it always goes? You don't want people to drink, don't provide the alcohol. Swampy, that's how I was feeling on Thanksgiving. That's why I made sure that they all knew. They had the mistaken idea that I cared about them, and they were sadly mistaken. And now they want to try to get this house. They can't. I have it all locked up in a will. It's going to my best friend's little 2-year-old daughter. She's no blood relation. So, there you go. Yeah. Well, one of my best friends. My Arizona best friend. She's just like 30. Really young. But yeah, her daughter is my ray of sunshine. So, absolutely, this is her house. And she decides to go to the University of Arizona. She owns where she lives. She don't have to pay. And she can have parties at her house if she wants to. It's her house. Where somebody would have willed me a house at 2 years old. So now the family, they have no voice in the matter whatsoever. They're gone. It's what they wanted. They picked it. Anyway, I don't want to talk on that anymore. You guys, I love you. God, we're almost into 3 hours. 2 hours and 44 minutes. I love you. You have a good day. Tomorrow on the Lightworkers Roundtable, I have Isaac. Isaac from the chats. So it's fun. It's not a card reader. Yay! It's one of the chatters. So you guys are all invited. If you would like to come on the Lightworkers Roundtable, I would be more than happy to welcome you. More than happy to, because you are just as much a part of this community as any of the rest of us. You raise our vibes just by being here in the chats. So that's what the show is all about. What do you do to raise your vibes? Let's do it. Let's have some fun. So come and join me tomorrow at 5 o'clock and meet Isaac. Terrific man. Lovely, lovely man. So you guys be kind to one another. And I'm going to ask you this. It's going to be tough this week to do, but be kind to those who are not kind to you. Wish them love as you walk away quietly. And by doing that, you are doing the kindest thing you can do for yourself. So be kind to yourself. I love you guys. Have a good day, a good weekend. We'll see you tomorrow night, right? Love you guys.